I am chosen to learn. Author Jay Spearman, illustrator Brandon Leaks, editor Ashley Davis. Jayce went to the rec center every day after school. Jayce had his evenings planned out perfectly. He would do his homework really quickly and then spend the rest of his time doing what he wanted to do. He was usually one of the last one picked up each day. This gave him more time to practice his speed skills and play with his friends. The rec center had some really cool counselors that worked with the after school program. They all had awesome nicknames that the children called them while at the rec. Hawk, Firestar, Jam, Spud, and Swift all worked with Jace's group each day. They made sure all the children did their homework, had fun, and played safely. One particular Thursday, Jace came in ready to get his homework done. He had bet an entire pack of candy to his classmate James in a not so friendly race. James thought he was the best at everything. Jace couldn't wait to leave James in his dust. He had been practicing all week. This win would be sweet, but first he had to do his homework. Normally, Jace would do the right thing, but today was not a normal day. Jace figured if he just put the answers down, not show his work, skim a few pages in his reading book, and stay quiet, that no one would really notice whether he did it correctly. Swift was the counselor working with Jace's group that day, which was different than most days. Usually, Hawk worked with them, and Hawk didn't bother them as long as they were quiet. Swift walked around the room. He checked over their shoulder. He asked them questions about their homework. He walked up behind Jace, stood there for a second, and then pulled up a chair. Swift asked Jace if he needed help. Jace quickly told him no. He was done and tried to put away his notebook. Swift saw quite a few questions that were incorrect and wanted to help. Jace didn't want help. He had people waiting on him. He had to go. Swift was not having it. He made Jace take out his work again. He told Jace that he noticed how much he loved to run and he was really good at it. Swift also said how important it is to be a good student first. Talent means nothing if he didn't give 100% effort towards his learning. Jace looked at Swift with a confused face. If Swift knew how much he loved running, why didn't he let him go run? Swift then explained to Jace that when he was in college, he was a track and field student athlete. He explained that the word student in front of athlete was done on purpose. Swift explained to Jace the importance of learning. Swift made Jayce sit down and correct all of his math work. Jayce had to read his library book and tell him what he read. Jayce did not have a chance to race James that day, and he was really bummed out about it. Swift made a deal with Jayce. If Jayce put more effort into his work at the rec, Swift would teach him how to be faster, just like his coach taught him in college. It took a few weeks of the same thing every day, but Jayce finally learned what Swift was doing. Swift was being a mentor to him. Jayce began to enjoy it when Swift helped him. He knew exactly what he was going to ask him. So Jayce worked to be prepared. Jayce worked hard to remember what he learned in school, show what he knew on his homework, and ask questions if he needed more help. He didn't want to let Swift down. Pretty soon, even Hawk picked up on Jayce's new habits. Even when Swift wasn't there, Hawk checked in to make sure Jayce was on track. Swift was a great role model. He helped Jayce understand that learning was very important and it would help Jayce through his entire life. Swift taught Jayce how to use his time wisely, make good choices, and take his learning seriously. When Jayce focused and did what he had learned, he actually had more time to do the things that he enjoyed. He had more time to practice, play, and race. He also found that his work wasn't quite as hard because he was more focused in class. When it was time to try out for the youth track team, the coach didn't have to contact Jace's parents or teachers about his grades or behavior in school. Jace made honor roll on his report card and he showed good character. Jace was happy that he listened to the advice that Swift gave him. Jace can teach us ways that we can learn. First, you must open your mind and choose to learn. Second, you must listen to the people who are teaching you. Third, you must be organized and responsible. Fourth, you must do your work and study the materials that you have. Finally, you must ask questions about problems that you may not understand. After all of this is done, you may go enjoy your playtime. This is how we learn like Jace did. God gave us a brain so that we can use it to learn information, use the information, and share what we have learned. I am chosen to learn. Thank you for joining us to read I Am Chosen to Learn.